what's up everyone? So we're back on it on the Falcon today. Plan is to chop off the messed up part on the front end, and then I actually got a tubing bender. So I got a little affordable bender because I just need to make a few bends and didn't want to spend a lot of money. So I got that out. I've never bent any tube before, so I got 2 sticks of 8 foot that's straight. So hopefully that'll give me one to mess up and one to complete, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll get to it, and hopefully by the end of this video we'll have the front end cut off and the tube frame put on. And then I'd like to go ahead, ordered a 10-point roll bar from S&W race cars that came in, and I also got the front down tubes for it, so it actually ended up being a 12-point. So I'd like to try to get some of the rest of the 8-point cut out too in the car, at least the rough cuts out, and then it'll take a little bit more to get in there and get all the plates and stuff cut back out. And then that way in the next video we can hopefully start on getting the roll bar tacked back in and figuring out how to pull the windshield and all that happy stuff. So thanks for watching, and let's get to it. Cool, so since the last video I went ahead and got the passenger side tacked in. So the plan is to cut all this mangled part off, so I'm gonna probably cut it right around there, and then we'll go to the other side and we'll cut that off too. Before we cut it, we'll get a measurement, so that way we can grab on the tubing bender and we'll be able to bend a tube from here, and we'll just bend it around so it makes the same length, and then hopefully it'll go back over there and it'll give me more room to do stuff with the turbo and everything once we get that far. So that didn't go so well. Let me go find a smaller blade. Alright, so we got a new blade in. Let's see how this goes. Alright, so got both sides cut off. That's a driver's side which wasn't involved in the wreck. You can see how nice that frame rail looks right there, and then you can see how mangled this one was, and it was all deformed and stuff. So next step is I'm probably going to go ahead and bend the tube, because I can mess it up on this length a little bit, and it won't hurt anything because it can go into the frame rail. And then I need to work on this side a little bit, probably get a hammer out and try to get it a little more square, and I can go ahead and try to get that gap a little better on the Mustang 2 front end. So the plan is to cut some metal end caps, get those so I can weld them on, and then I'll drill a 1 5/8 hole in them for the tube to go through, and then I'll make the tube a little longer is my thought, and then I'll just put it into the frame rail and weld all the way around it through the hole. So hopefully that'll work out, and we're gonna do some measuring, trying to decide. I might actually do the bender first because I have never used a tubing bender, so kind of excited about that. Probably do that, and then we'll make these end caps. All right, so honestly I struggled with that, but I got it loaded up. I got a little over 11 inches sticking out. Then I'm gonna bend it, and that should end up with a 20. We'll see. I really don't know what I'm doing. I thought if it was a 7-inch radius, I could just have 7 inches to whatever, but when I throw a tape measure on it, doesn't look like that, so I could be wrong. So we're just going to bend this one to 90, and then we'll do some measuring, and then we'll actually know. So I think that's the way you need to do it anyways. You just got to do it to figure it out. So we're going to get to bending, and hopefully we'll have a 90 here in a minute, and then the tricky part will be making the other 90 just to make sure I don't screw it up. Alright, so we're not getting anywhere. It doesn't look like my jack's working. You can see it just, look right there. It's not doing anything. It just goes down. It's not locking. So let me go see if I don't know, I gotta go do some looking. I don't know if I'm supposed to add oil to the pump, but it's got oil, it seems. I don't know if it has an air bubble or what, but it's definitely not working because it just pumps a little and then springs back to the handle. It's supposed to, so I don't know. Alright, so my pump had an air bubble in it, which I don't know how I'm this old and didn't know about air bubbles in hydraulic jacks. Never had that happen before, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, I just opened this up and pumped it a bunch of times, then closed it, and the jack worked fine. So I think it got an air bubble in it because when I was messing with trying to get that pipe in, I had it laying on its side and all kinds of crazy stuff trying to figure it out. So all's good with the pump, and we'll get the bending. Alright, so I got my very first bend done, which it came out alright. I think it's a little bit past 90. It's probably like 91-ish, 92-ish. So I was kind of worried about spring back, so I really cranked on it, and apparently I didn't need to crank on it quite that much. But I think it's going to work. We're going to get some measurements now, and then hopefully that'll help me figure out where to put the next bend so we can make this thing actually fit the car. Alright, so here's my dilemma. I got my first 90 done, and I'm pretty sure I got my thing set up right, but I'm worried that if I start bending it, this guy right here is gonna hit the bender. So I don't know, because I'm pretty sure it won't be above it and it's gonna hit it. So if that's not gonna work, I don't know. This is part of that learning stuff you got to do, because I don't think I can do it the other way either, because then it would just drive the pipe into the ground. So I don't know. I'm gonna decide if I'm just gonna go for it and see if it clears it, which it probably won't, or if I'm gonna mark it and then try to put the pipe in the other way and bend it, which I think that's probably what I need to do. But I'm not sure. My math's not going to work if I do it that way, but I think that's the way I got to try to do it. So we'll take it all apart and try again. Alright, so we're in uncharted waters for me here. So I really don't know. So what I did is I got a piece of cardboard, and you can see I traced my 90 that I bent here, and then I laid my pipe down. Then I just used a tape measure to get the width I want from the bar to my cardboard drawing. And then I made a mark on the pipe where my bend needs to start. So we're going to mock it up in the bender and see if I like it. And then we're just going to have this part bent way up, but we'll just cut that after we bend it. And we'll see. So hopefully this works. Yeah, very new to bending. So that's my first bend. This will be my second bend, and then hopefully it'll work. And then I'll have to do some more YouTubing and reading and figure out the proper way to do this mess. But as long as it works, that's all that matters, as often is said, as long as it's close enough. Alright, so it's actually the next day here. So yesterday I ended up doing some bending, and this is the first tube I bent, and it was supposed to be 29 inches. And it came out at 24 inches, so I was like way off. So luckily I was able to cut this one, and then I was able to redo it, and I got the 29 inches. This is really close to the minimum length I wanted. I wanted, like, you know, I needed 17.5, and it's like right at 17 3/4, so that should still work. I just won't feed as much inside as I wanted, and I still left this leg long over here because I wasn't sure if it was going to fit. So, but I do have it made, and it's 29 inches, and it seems to be pretty flat, which is awesome. So I did that part right, and it seems to be pretty square looking. So pretty happy with that. First time bending anything, and you know, a lot more to learn about that stuff. But hopefully I don't have to bend too much because the roll bar part's pre-bent. So hopefully this will be one of the few things I'm bending. Then as I get better at it, I'll try to bend some more stuff. But the plan is I made some cardboard cutouts for the front end, so we'll get those trimmed up today since it's raining. and just do some grinding and stuff in the inside, and dug out my 1 5/8" hole saw. So the plan is to make little metal end caps for the frame rails. Then we'll do the 1 5/8" hole into them, and then we'll stick the pipe in a little bit and weld it around, so it'll hopefully be a little bit stronger of a joint. And we'll do that hopefully, I don't know, whenever the rain clears up. We got the tropical storm Claudette coming through, so hopefully it'll be gone tomorrow or the next day, and I can get out there and weld after work and finish up this front end. Alright, so it's the next day here. Luckily the rain's gone, but unluckily it's 90 degrees, so won't be much filming me because I kind of I'm a sweaty mess. Nobody wants to see that. But I got this end cap cut out and trimmed up, ready to weld up. Went ahead and did some grinding to clean up and some wire wheeling. So I got that one done and fixed to tack that one in. And I got the passenger side cut too, and it's cleaned up and ready to go. So once I get this one tacked in, I'll do the other one, and then we'll get the front bar I bent up yesterday, and we'll test fit it, and then we'll drill some holes in the end caps there, some 1 5/8" holes. Hopefully get it tacked into place too this afternoon. Alright, so got both end caps welded on, and then I got my pipe, fitted it up. I got one hole drilled, so the plan is for this to go in just a little bit on each side and then weld around it, so it should be nice and strong. That's the hope. So we'll get this other hole drilled, and then we'll get the pipe tacked in. I'm just going to tack in the front bar because I just want to make sure everything fits well before I final weld it. So it's just going to get tacked in, and then probably test fit some fenders and stuff eventually before we do anything, and measure for a radiator and all that mess. So getting closer. Alright, so I'd like to get more done, but it's 90 degrees and it's like 7 o'clock and it's still almost 90 degrees, which is silly. And it's humid because it rained yesterday. But anyway, I got my holes drilled, got my bar set in, got it all measured out, so it looks good. And it actually, check that out, it actually looks like it is bent right and everything. So kind of surprising. I figured it might be a little cattywampus, but super happy with how that turned out. So I've just got it tacked in right now, just in case my length wasn't right, but pretty sure it is. And then the bumper will just attach to here, and I'll figure out all the radiator and stuff, and eventually test fit the fenders and the grill and all that stuff, make sure everything's good. And then I'll eventually have to figure out too, once I do the roll bar, because I'll have the up bar coming from here going up to the dash bar, so I got to figure that out too. But super stoked, glad it came out well, and thanks for watching. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, and we'll keep building this thing. Thanks.